safe and have fun.
Thanks a lot.
Aloha.
All right.
Thank you.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Absolutely beautiful. Whew.
Isn't that something?
So pretty.
We're going to try something a little new and start a playlist that focuses not on the camper build, but instead on some of the places that we're getting out and enjoying exploring while traveling. There is so much to learn and so much beauty to enjoy that we thought we'd just share a little bit of that as we travel.
Hello and welcome back to a loyd3theMightyMiniCamper video. We're here at the Anza-Borrego State Park in the Borrego Palm Canyon Campground. We just finished a beautiful hike up into the canyon this morning and just had our breakfast here at the camper.
If you're interested, we also have a feature video that shows a summary of the entire build process from start to finish, so you can check that out as well. If any of this content interests you, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification button so that you can know when new videos come out. Now we check out the visitor center while we're here. See what they've got to offer. Always find a beautiful stone structure here. I'm going to try and give a few fun facts that we learned while we were visiting the area, and I'll put references in the video description below just so that you can look for further stuff if you're interested in that. Here's a topographical map just inside the visitor center that gives you an idea of the terrain inside the park. The Anza-Borrego Desert State Park is over 600,000 acres, making it roughly the size of the state of Rhode Island. There's lots of different activities here to do, and we're going to do a little hiking while we're here and share some of that footage with you. But there's lots of other stuff to do too. You can find the link for the state park down below, as well as some other links that have lots of information about this area. The Anza-Borrego Desert State Park is in Southern California's Colorado Desert. Millions of years ago, the Colorado River flowed through here and met the Gulf of California, which today is much further south. As the waters flowed through, it deposited the sediment layers that built up into the land that we have today. If you're visiting the Grand Canyon, you may notice a conspicuous absence of soil and sediment, which is what ended up here and formed this area. Amazing to see water. The major draw to the park is the blooming of wildflowers in the spring. I was told, if I remember this correctly, that a average bloom will occur if there's up to 6 inches of rainfall, and if there's up to 8 inches, then you can get a super bloom. This last year, unfortunately, I think they said they had less than an inch of rain, so we saw a little bit of wildflower blooming, but not very much. The wildflower growth depends on quite a bit of weather factors, including the timing of the rain, the amount of sunlight they get, and the seasonal temperature patterns. And even the wind can impact the timing and the number of flowers seen across the region from year to year. Many to most of the plants that you see in the Anza-Borrego Desert State Park are annuals, meaning that they go through their life cycle within a single year. That way the seeds germinate when they have the best chance of surviving and passing along their genetic information. One exciting animal found only in this area that lots of people come here to see is the peninsular bighorn sheep, which was listed as a federally endangered species in 1998, but due to conservation efforts is making a slow recovery. We were not lucky enough to see one, but they're often seen near sources of water. They are uniquely adapted to this desert environment and are pretty amazing creatures. Here's an interesting nest that we came across. I'm pretty sure it's from a cactus wren. I didn't get a good picture of one of those birds, so I'll download one and stick it in here. Apparently they build multiple nests and use them for roosting or maybe for raising their young in different nests. They're omnivores and feed on a variety of insects, spiders, and small fruits. They're particularly fond of ants, beetles, and caterpillars, which they are really good at getting down into the crevices of the cacti and getting those out of there.
No mess. No mess.
Here's another little character we came across, a desert cottontail, which are much smaller than jackrabbits. Of course, they've got that fluffy white cotton-like tail that gives them their name, and they like the drier habitats found in the Colorado desert. They are food for just about every predator in the area. But there's still plenty of them around because they are prolific breeders. Apparently, in 1 year, a female rabbit can give birth to 2 to 6 litters, with each litter having between 1 to 5 babies. And by 3 months old, those babies are sexually mature and can start to reproduce themselves. The Elsinore Fault runs through the park, and along that long valley bubble up natural springs that have attracted wildlife as well as human inhabitants throughout history. Rather than moving north to south seasonally, like many snowbirds do today, early inhabitants moved up and down in elevation, spending summers in the cooler mountains and winters in the warmer desert, where there was also a large freshwater lake in early years.
Wow. What a spot to have a picnic, hey? Should we have our apple, Dad?
One of the most distinctive and interesting features of the Anza-Borrego Desert State Park are the palm oases with the desert fan palms, which are the only native palm species to Southern California and the largest palm in North America. There's about 100 native fan palm groves still in the Colorado desert area, a remnant of what was present when millions of years ago it was a much more tropical climate, but today only surviving where there's water available. I've had the privilege of traveling to some amazing places on this planet over the course of my life, and I will say that these fan palm oases are one of the most magical places I've ever been to. To be hiking along in the desert and to all of a sudden come across this water flowing and all of the abundant life that gathers at that point, it's just magical. The water in these oases are the result of earthquakes causing faults and fractures in the Earth's crust, where the water can seep to the surface. In 2020, a human-caused fire burned through the first grove and burned off the tops of all the fan palms. But amazingly, by the following year, they seem to be recovering quite well. These are the traditional lands of the Kawia and the Kumeyaay, with their descendants still in the area today. The later arrival of settlers from Spain, Mexico, and the United States brought along epidemics as well as a clash of values and culture and land use, similar to what has played out in many First Nations communities throughout North America and indeed throughout the world. In 1774, just before the U.S. declared its independence from England, Juan Bautista de Anza of Spain traveled northward from Mexico seeking a route to Northern California and traveled through this area. They later established a settlement in the port of San Francisco. This mesquite tree had a lot of bees really enjoying the blossoms. And just across the street here, we have something I've never seen before. We have an outhouse that is kind of open air. Might not be quite for everybody, but I thought it was kind of fun. Just a few minute drive from the campground, there is an area with large-scale freestanding metal sculptures that were produced by the artist Ricardo Braceda under the direction of Dennis Avery, who was the late landowner of the Gallito Meadows in Borrego Springs, and that is managed by the Under the Sun Foundation. This is over 1,500 acres of undeveloped desert land where these large sculptures are placed and are open to the public to enjoy.
Just finished our morning hike out here making a nice breakfast, enjoying the nice, beautiful weather. Say hi, Dad. Breakfast is served.
Don't forget to
Like
subscribe.
and hit that notification button.
Thanks, and
See you next time.